At the 2012 Swansea local government election count at the Leisure Centre, weeks after my father had passed away, I bumped into the former deputy head of Cumbulla Primary School, Roland Emanuel. As a bluegrass musician, he regularly went off on tours with friends, and on one trip to America some years before, he explained, they came across an 85-year-old chap who had emigrated from Forestfach to the States 40 years before. They reminisced. He asked about family members, about old neighbours, who had married who, whether the shops and pubs were still there. Roland then said, with a great smile and sparkle in his eye, that this chap paused and said, "More than anything else, tell me, how is Ronnie Dirk?" He remembered Dad as a kind and helpful, thoughtful young man for whom he had maintained a lifelong affection. Journal entries for this period show that time passes, that Dad was never far away in conversation, and 9 Week Road was again a place of laughter. The kids were getting older, settling down with their partners and buying houses. Cam and Evie were growing by the second. However, Mam struggled even though Paul lived with her for months until he had to go back to his own place, and she saw the rest of the family very regularly. Some of Mam and Dad's old friends would ring up and call in too. Ivor Berman and Spider, lovely people, were often in touch with her. 21st of April 2012, Mam's 79th birthday. Paul is staying with her. Carol and I call in to see her every day. There's no point saying how she's doing. As well as you would expect after losing your husband of 55 years. She's holding it together. We took her out for her birthday today. She didn't want to go anywhere, but she didn't have a choice. She really enjoyed a lovely meal up the plough near Carol's in Llansamlet with me, Suze, Paul, Carol, Kerry, Cam. Jen was in Cardiff. Nicola, Evie and Michael Kift. Em was in Treco Bay for the weekend. 7th of May 2012. Nana Thomas died today, aged 99. Her funeral was held on a lovely sunny day in Pontypridd. There was a good turnout, followed by a few hours in the beer garden of the Hawthorne pub. I mentioned that we should have a Nobody's Died get-together in future, otherwise we'll never see the wider family again. Mam enjoyed seeing her family and friends, especially her cousins, who brought some lovely old photos. Around this time, me and Suze had Cam overnight for Kerry and Jen to go to his sister's wedding. My God, you forget so much about how babies work. Nice walk around Klein, followed by dodgy food in the Woodman. Cam was happy to see all the people who he thought were there to say hello and smile back at him. In fact, he was so intent on being noticed that he kept craning his neck as he sat in his high chair to look at the people passing. On the 11th of August 2012, I had a lovely 47th birthday. We stuffed Gravesend with Kerry scoring 125, then taking 6 wickets. He did a 50-mile bike ride before the game in training for the Paris to Swansea bike ride for Maggie's Cancer Centre. Jamie bowled 8 overs in his first game for 3 years or so. He'll be aching tomorrow. Great to see them playing together again. Suze took me for a mystery meal at the Pantaguida in town, and it was absolutely gorgeous. 13th of October, after visiting friends James and Becky to welcome a beautiful 7-day-old bouncing baby Isabel Bendel, we called to see Mam, and I'm delighted to say she's now quite keen to visit Aunty Mars in Tenby. She needs to spread her wings now to get out and about. Tenby first, and then wherever we can encourage her to go. 14th of October, we took Mam to Tenby and she loved it. After dropping her to Aunty Mars and a quick cuppa, we headed off to Saundersfoot and had a lovely Sunday lunch in a restaurant called Mulberry's. Had 2 pints with food and another in the Old Chemist Inn. Their Blue Tit Awards for entering the annual New Year's Day swim made us laugh.